Hey, it's great to have you along on this Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Andy Parker, back in the saddle, tracking the lake effect as it targets the Tonawandas and Niagara Falls before making a move back into the city later this afternoon and eventually hitting the South Towns. Today, we've got a star-studded cast of weather spotters out there. We've got a Niagara Falls cam with Sean. Rob Lucas from Star 102.5 is with us in Tonawanda, where it's hitting right now. And Kevin O'Connell, weatherman extraordinaire in Clarence, where the wind is blowing and it's still coming down. Guys, let's take a look at this Doppler band. You guys have been getting hit in the falls pretty much right through the overnight. The picture up there in the falls looks like this. I mean, it is still coming down sideways up there. Let me see if I can pull the right one here and bring it up. There it is. That's the view if you're in the falls right now. Anybody have any questions? Pop them in the right rail. We can see everybody. You can share and like this thing until your heart's desired. But we're going to keep going and answer the questions about where this is. Sean, if you got your mic on, how much snow are you sitting on there in the falls?
Oh, a lot. It depends.
Yeah,
the drifts, some drifts are 3 feet. Sometimes you can see concrete.
There it is, and that's how it's going to be for the remainder of the day. A very messy situation up there. As I mentioned before, we've got Rob Lucas from MyStar1025.com, and then we also have Kevin O'Connell, who's been watching a lot of these storms. Rob, we're coming to you next because I want to talk about Tonawanda. You lost power up there for a while. Did you get that power back on?
Yeah, we did last night. We were kind of surprised by that. We were preparing. We had the candles out all over, and we're ready to make a night of it. And truthfully, trying to figure out how am I going to watch the Bills game tomorrow because we have our priorities here. But just as he said in Niagara Falls, it's hard to tell how much snow there is. It's been snowing since overnight. It's really picked up a lot. I've already been out and I snowblowed once. My neighbors thought I was kind of nuts. It's already filled in. Anybody who has a dog, you know what you're going through right now. Do you want me to take it in the outside view, Andy, so we can see exactly what's going on?
Yeah, you're in the town of Tonawanda, which is kind of you're in the snow zone, if you will. So let's see what you have. I know you did a little work with the snow blower.
First of all, we're in our beautiful breezeway right now. You can't see out the windows. An hour and a half ago, I had these all cleared up. Now, just like Sean said in Niagara Falls, let's open up the window or the door. We may see a little of that sunshine, but some pavement, or you might see nothing but snow. Let's see. All right, here we go. This might be the dumbest thing I've ever done. Honest to gosh, you're going to think I'm crazy, but when you're out in it, it looks clearer than when you're looking at it from inside. Oh, there's a strong gust. Yeah, that was not a good one. And as you see over here, when you go around, you can see about 4.5 feet in some areas. There's my neighbor Ron across the street. He's watching on Facebook. I told him I'd give him a shout out. He thinks I'm crazy too. But this is what it's all about. Look at how you see grass around the tree there. But then next to it, a 2.5 foot drift. And it's just like that all over. I'm going back inside. I'll let you take it here.
Holy cow. Everything is just pasted in snow. Hey, I don't know what time you called it a night last night, Rob, but was it this bad? I mean, it came up overnight. How much was on the ground before all of this came in overnight?
I'd say about half as much as this. And but the one thing is, let me take you to the backside now. This is a tour of the Rob Lucas household. Stunning, isn't it?
Family show.
Yeah, this is my dog's bathroom. And okay, it's about 3/4. It's about a foot there. But when I got up this morning, it was up to here. And I've already been out snowblowed. This had no snow on it last night. This is Alberta spruce. There was no snow on it last night. And you can just see how you go through times where you can see the neighbor. Wow, that tree is really peaky. You see the neighbor's house, and sometimes you don't see it at all, like right now.
Yeah, kind of. It's there and then it's gone. You know, this is going to sound crazy, but some of the things for folks that get hit today, you want to make sure you open your door occasionally because some folks hit the drift and then they realize they had that moment where they're like, we can't get the door open. We can't get out of the house. Now you start looking at windows. Hey, let me jump over to Kevin over in Clarence because I don't think Clarence is getting hit right now too hard, but you said this stuff is going sideways.
Yeah, it is going sideways. Well, you know, it's the time of the season, Andy, so we let everybody know right at our front door that the NOEL is simple. No one ever leaves. Okay, what it stands for, and pretty much that's been the story over here in the Clarence Williamsville area. You're looking out right now at. Am I supposed to turn this thing around? Is that the deal?
Yeah, yeah.
All
You're
right.
your own cameraman on this. The
Yeah.
budget,
Is that better?
that's better.
And then
Okay,
Jay.
now here's the deal. Here's what I want you. I'm gonna try something. I don't know if I should do this. I'm opening up the back door at our porch. Okay, as you can see on the bottom, that's what we got to watch out. Now, Carolyn and I love to have something grilled,
Wow.
even in the winter. So the grill's there. There's the bare pavement at the top of our deck. But look at about literally 2 feet away.
Wow.
You
Oh
have
my
a
gosh.
5-foot drift on our backyard, and it's coming down. I'd like to show you my weather vane out to the back, but you can't see the doggone thing. It's running a mile a minute. I'm going to close this up. Just like Rob, man, it was cold.
It is blowing out there. So Clarence is not even in the heart of this thing because that's still sitting over in Tonawondas and up in Niagara
Yeah.
Falls. And let me see if I've got that the Niagara Falls shot in here. Is that still is Sean still with us? Hey Sean,
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's because you're kind of your shot looked the worst. With you, I think you had the worst snow coming down at this hour, and yeah, that's where the
you're right.
snow is up in Niagara Falls. Trying to look through the screen's not working for us, but we'll
This
we'll
is the
check
south
back
side of
in.
the house.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't like the screen. But,
Wow. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
I got
That's cool. No worries. And so that's what we're keeping an eye on today, watching that Niagara Falls band as it stops back through the Tonawondas and down into Buffalo. Hey guys, it was a pleasure to have you in here. Let me see if there's any. I know you guys got a lot of shout outs, and someone said, Rob, you've got to cut this is here. It says you've got to cut a poop loop in the lawn for the dog.
I've done that twice today. I've done that twice already. We'll get the tunnels going. And also, I want to say this is the type of weather that when I was a little kid, I would turn on the radio and hope that
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell would close my school.
That's right. Well, and I would turn on the radio when I was a kid, hoping Clint Bielman was still
There you go.
breathing, and he would close my school. You know, one thing I'm going to say, because Andy, you and I experienced this, as the other guys did too, is what's the comparison between the 2022 Christmas storm and the 1977 blizzard? And
Yeah.
right now, this storm hasn't lasted as long as 77, but I hear a lot of people saying that it's an awful lot worse. And I deferred to my wife, Carolyn, and she said, you know what? I think this is a worse storm than we had in 77, even though it's not as long. I've never heard people say you're on your own. Emergency services are, non-existent at the moment. I mean, that's saying an awful lot. So, hunker down and keep your fingers crossed. But the North Towns are getting whacked right now. And normally this was not the area that the 1977 storm focused on. It was more the city and then going into the South Town. So there's a little bit of difference. But you know what? Both of them are very paralyzing in more ways than one. But I want to wish you guys and certainly your families and everybody who's watching this thing a very Merry Christmas and the best for the new year.
Hey,
Yeah, you
thank
know what? I think jumping on that, I think this is the most marooned I've ever felt in
Yeah.
a storm in Buffalo. The blizzard of 77, I was only like 13 years old, so you really can't gauge it. You have a different reference point. But
Sure.
on this one, I feel like we could get up and around and start moving on Monday. And I know that's 2.5 days away and it's a holiday weekend. But I just think I've never felt this closed in where you can't even see outside the front or the back door, no matter how
Or
often you
where
close
would you
them.
go? Even if you could get out, where would you go? The supermarkets are closed. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing open, and people that are there have probably been there since late Thursday because everybody just kind of hunkered down yesterday. Yeah, I hear
Well,
you.
when I say marooned, I mean like I can't make it to the liquor store by foot 2 blocks away.
Oh, see, you should have stocked up on Thursday like we told you. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yep. Hey,
Oh, Lord, that's
we've
great.
got a lot of comments coming in. Everybody wants to know where this snow band is going. So, Rob, you're gonna unload this snow band onto Kevin in
Yep.
Clarence a little bit later. It's slowly sinking southward as we speak. It's about hitting. If you guys can see the the bridge. Let me bring this up. You guys take a look. It's right at the North Grand Island Bridge right now. And
Yeah.
so that's where the track of it is slowly moving further to the south. So things have improved in Niagara Falls, but not in the Tonawandas. And then eventually it comes back to Kenmore, and portions of downtown Buffalo get hit again. So after people dug out, they're going to have one more round at it. I know you guys got to go do some shoveling or something. But
Yep.
hey, thank you very much for stopping by again. We've got Rob Lucas from MyStar 1025 and Kevin O'Neill, or Kevin. My bad.
Holy Toledo.
Kevin
Goodbye,
O'Connell.
everybody. All right. You're going to get another chunk of coal, Parker.
Oh, no. And yes, thank you so much for popping in, guys. And,
It's been great to be on with John Chandic.
oh, my gosh.
Good
Bring
guys.
everybody out there.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas,
guys.
guys.
Hope the power stays on for you.
I've only been doing this job for a couple of weeks. So. All right, Kev. Thank you, Rob. Talk
Okay,
to you
brother.
guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's go in and talk about where this Doppler is going and how it's going to affect you. We're going to get into where it's going and how intense it's going to get a little bit later. Let's go ahead and start with the timing of this. Let's bring in where it is now and where it's going. Here it is at 11 o'clock this morning. As we keep the clock moving, it's going to head a little closer towards the city, and it will bring itself into Akron, Batavia, Buffalo, all the way down to Hamburg as well. You can see the action returning to the city and includes Clarence and Williamsville, and it looks like it'll begin to get into West Seneca. Now we're at the dinner hour, post game, if you will. It's still wobbling there. Not until after 7 o'clock do we start to see that shift that will take it a little further to the south, and then it brings it into the south towns. Hamburg, Orchard Park, the stadium, East Aurora. This is when you're getting the snow through the overnight hours. It'll continue to wobble in that area for a number of hours before eventually sliding a little bit further to the south, maybe down to Springville by the time we get to Christmas morning, as that lake band continues to migrate. Still very intense in that Orchard Park and Hamburg area. That's why totals there are going to be significant by the time we get to tomorrow evening. I think we're going to see some pretty big numbers in those spots, and that's where we've got it right now. Speaking of the totals, I'm going to put that on the map, and then we're going to get to all of your questions here. I know everybody wants to know about how much snow they're going to get in their backyard and when is it coming. All those questions we'll be able to answer for you here. This is the big picture as we look at it in the next 24 hours, what to expect. Here are the totals as we pop them on the map. You can see still another 15 to 18 inches in a lot of locations. That includes portions of the south towns on along the thruway corridor in the city, and then it begins dropping off rapidly. Dunkirk is still in the mix here for another shot of snow, but it looks like this will be ending in the Tonawandas on short order. Getting really dark in Tonawanda again. Thanks for that comment. They finally had some plows in Tonawanda as well. She can't see across the street in Pendleton for hours. Tomorrow in the city of Tonawanda, are you going to be okay? Let's go ahead and see if we can pop that back up on the screen and take us into tomorrow for Tonawanda. So here's where it is at 11 a.m. Let's go to a bicycle over to the Christmas morning map that'll take us to around 7 a.m. and where it's at. And this will be the view that we're seeing at around 7 a.m. And you can see how that begins to exit the city of Buffalo, moving into some of the south towns. So yes, you guys are good in Tonawanda. Once this moves on out today, it should not be returning up there as well. Who do we have here? Yvette says it's bad outside. Sunny in Holland right now. And it says we live right at the dot in the Buffalo. Be safe. It's very scary. They're right in the core. As a matter of fact, we can look at downtown Buffalo. This is as best as I've seen the city look in about 24 hours. All those cars down there are essentially buried in a lot of that snow. And if we can go take a peek at that, let's see if we can get a close-up look at those cars. If we can zero in and see what they look like. That's what the view in the city is. And those folks have not plowed. We've been kind of keeping an eye on them, and it's past the wheel well to the top of the tire, and that's what we're finding in the city of Buffalo. So those totals that we just showed you, these are additional. How much did Niagara Falls just get? It feels like hard to measure up there, but our camera in the falls said it was somewhere around 12 to 15 inches. Will Dunkirk stay clear? Dunkirk is going to be clear for a while, but you're going to get back into this as well. Tonawanda is awful, and it's going to keep going up there as we bring that back in, and we'll give you an idea of when this exits. So let's go back to where it is right now and we'll start this timeline right there for everybody, and you can get a peek at when this moves to the south. The overall trend is a slow sink to the south. How much more in Snyder? We've got one there. We'll slide over to the Snyder area. You're in the teens. No doubt about it. West Seneca. So Kimberly wants to know about West Seneca. We're going to pop back into this, and you're going to have about more than a dozen inches in West Seneca. But let's give a look at when it comes back to the West Seneca area here for Kim. Happy to do that answer. There we go. It starts coming back into West Seneca a little bit later this afternoon. I still think the center of the band is over Buffalo, but with the gusty winds that'll continue to go through the day today, the harder hit in West Seneca comes after 7 o'clock tonight, and it looks like that's going to continue through the evening hours before sinking further south into Orchard Park. Speaking of the winds, look at this. We're down from those 60-mile-an-hour gusts. We're now in the window for the 50 and the 40-mile-an-hour gusts that'll continue on right through the afternoon hours here, and that is going to be something that is the bigger story, are all of the wind gusts. There's the snow total map again. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in on the rail. We're happy. Just go ahead and hit the like and share button for us as well. The more that you can share this and get it out there, the more folks that can come in and enjoy and ask questions, and we're happy to do this for as much as possible. Let me see if I do see someone asking we're going to block that user, and that should eliminate that. Thank you, everybody. Angola. What is Angola looking for? If we hop into Angola, they're over here in that area and right in there. So you're in the teens. How much more snow in Hamburg? If we move up over there at Hamburg, you're still looking at more than a foot of snow. When will this end in Niagara Falls? It'll be ending shortly. You guys are almost done. South Buffalo, is it coming back? Yes, it is. It's coming back into South Buffalo. We can show you right here that this will be arriving back in South Buffalo in a matter of hours. It's slowly working its way down that direction. We did. I appreciate that, Carol. We did get rid of the spammer. He's gone. Will it drift south enough to hit Jamestown? Let's give a look at that. We're going to bring that in there and see if we can get that down. So, Michael, I'm going to pull you out. We're going to take a look at Jamestown. Let's bring that down there and get an idea of when this is going to get down to Jamestown. If it does make it into Chautauqua County, we'll find out how far it goes. I think it's going to be pretty close, but end up staying to the north of you. That's the morning hours on the 25th. So there's Christmas morning, and you can see that that's really not going to move much further south than that. I think you're going to be on the outside looking into the snow party. As we go back to the totals, I think this bears it out as well. When we put Jamestown on the map, it looks like with the new storm track, Dunkirk is still in the mix on this, but I think less and less. Jamestown, you're really not going to see much more at all. Buffalo, is it coming back? It is. It's on its way there right now, and it should be there as well. Will it drift enough to hit Jamestown? We just said no, and we've got another one in here. Has the lakeshore flooding passed? Yes. The point of which the Lake Sache hit us, that's now gone. So Michelle says, thank you. We appreciate that. Everybody smash that like button for me. Just hit that one time, and the share as well. Do the like and the share. We'll keep going. It allows us to bring in the guests and have some fun and enjoy time together and kind of get through this blizzard with everybody involved. Here we go to Grand Island. You're probably looking at another 2 inches on the north end to another 7 or more right at the South Grand Island Bridge. So we kind of gave you that. Is Buffalo out of the worst? You would think Buffalo might be outside of this, but when we look at it, Buffalo is just getting back into it. You kind of had a little bit of a break, and then now it's coming back. Will Grand Island be free and clear of the bands today and tomorrow? Let's go to Grand Island and give you an idea of when this is going to exit. So here it is right now, still cutting across Grand Island. The further we get into the day, the more that the North Grand Island clears. South Grand Island will be last to clear, and then you are in the clear by the time we get into the Christmas Day. That should move it out of there and get you guys all set. What do we got? Looks like we've got an image here. And it looks like this is up there over by the 290. That is not a pretty picture. So that's the bridge looking north.
Hey, yeah. Hey, you got me?
Right. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah, this is the South Grand Island Bridge where you have that interchange, the 290 and the 90. Just before you get on the bridge, this is what it looks like right now within the heaviest of the band.
Yeah, you can see that. That is no travel right there. It says if people are fortunate enough to have power in Tonawanda with the current conditions, stay safe. If you have power now, you're probably not going to lose it. because we're in a situation where the biggest winds are ratcheting down. So that means we're going to be settling things down. But you can see even those 40-mile-an-hour gusts are enough to create whiteout conditions at times, no doubt about. It says wind gusts are his biggest concern. Are they expected to increase again later? No. As a matter of fact, as we watch it here, if anything, they're going the other way, just not as fast as we'd want them to. They're going to be pretty slow to go as far as exiting the region. When is Dunkirk going to get the majority of snow? Let's go ahead and bring that in because we haven't called Dunkirk's name a lot in the past 24. But watch as this lake band hugs the shoreline of Lake Erie, and it will ding Dunkirk occasionally through the day today. But I think it's tonight and then during the day on Christmas Day. That's when you're going to get that. See how the center never really smashes Dunkirk right in the face, but you are so close to the edge that you're going to get the blowing snow and then some accumulation out of there as well. We've got another one here. Karen says she's got 2-foot drifts in the falls. I tell you what, Karen, there's some folks with 6-footers out there. You should consider yourself lucky with that situation. Look at this picture. They're snow blowing their deck. Oh my goodness, the photos that are going to come in are amazing. If you want to have some information, all you've got to do is put a meteorologist in your contact, 503-ANDY or 503-2639. It goes right to the cell phone, and then we're able to get your pictures. If you've got some great pictures, please text them in. So it's the 716 area code 503-ANDY, and you can ask questions there as well. If you text the word weather, you'll get a response right back. Let's go ahead and take a look at that sky cam in downtown Buffalo. Still blowing. Look at how it's stuck to the sides of the buildings there. Let's go see friends in Florida supposed to come in Monday. They should be able to get in Monday because the winds will drop down and the intensity of the snow will drop as well. Christmas with family isn't canceled, just delayed. Yeah, you could put that off for a day. That's, I think, what we're contemplating with our family as well. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. Everybody hit that share or that like and the share button for me. Smash that one time. We've got a bunch of people that just came in the room. We're trying to do all the questions we can. How much more for Williamsville? Well, as we take a look at the number here, just north of the Thruway, you're in for another baker's dozen, and a lot of that is going to be going sideways there as well. Dawn, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the like and the share. In Fredonia, we'll slide down there and do this for Diane. That's going to be just a little further inland of Dunkirk, but not much. You can see that the area there, right where we've got it, that number, let's go down to the southern tier and bring this in a little closer. I'll take that off and we'll reset it. So she's talking about Fredonia, which is over here, and I'm going to spend just a moment of time because we can be as accurate as we can. The beautiful part of this, as opposed to the one way of TV, you guys get to ask what you want to see, and we'll be able to bring that in. So there's Brockton. Right along the shoreline is where you've got a good shot at a foot, but look at how quick that number drops off. Once you get into Lilydale, Salamanca, Cassadaga, Sinclairville, those are when the numbers drop off. When would the arrival time be back into the Dunkirk, Fredonia area? I think we just talked about that. It is coming in later this evening and then more so through the overnight. It says, any idea what I got in Williamsville, the Dent Towers, 3 to 4 foot drifts? That's the question of the day is how do you say exactly how much snow fell? It's pretty difficult. We're going to see if, hey, Dave, see if the Weather Service has an updated number. 16 was the number last night, and I know that we've increased that, although the airport did see this move to the north, so it may have cut down on that number there. Highest wind gust recorded from this storm, 79 miles an hour, and I believe that was in Lackawanna. What time does it get to the stadium in OP? And that'll be at the stadium by the time we get to late tonight into tomorrow afternoon. Is when it ends up in there. Is Depew done? No, you've got a little bit of a break right there. Thank you, Barb. I appreciate it. We've had a lot of help, and you guys are the ones that kind of provide that to us by sharing and liking this thing and pushing it on and getting it out there to everybody. Grand Island bridges, we talked about it. The South Grand Island Bridge is bad. North Grand Island Bridge getting better, and the visibilities are still going to be tough as well. Orleans County, this will be done a little bit later. And it's going to take a while, probably till tonight before it slides to the south. Dave, do you have a piece of information, a new map for us there? Something to pop in?
Yes, I do, because I know a lot of people are wondering about, hey, when's the wind going to die down? And specifically, I wanted to show this because a lot of folks are without power. And for the linemen to go out and fix the poles, I mean, you have to have gusts less than 40 miles an hour. So if you go through the day, it's still going to be gusty. We're still getting wind gusts just over 50 miles an hour, 50 to 60 today. You're not going to see those wind gusts diminish until we head late tonight into early Christmas Day. So early Christmas Day is going to be about the time that you're going to start to see, hopefully, and, fingers crossed, hopefully you see some power lines become fixed, so some people can get power for Christmas Day, but then you have to, you have to travel through all of that. And I don't know what that situation is for the linemen and the utility crews out there. So I just want to give everybody an idea of the wind gusts out there. And it's not going to happen or decrease until we get into early Christmas morning.
That is right. There you go. You can see those winds slowly ratcheting down. They're still above the criteria for them to put the bucket trucks up. That's going to be the tough thing there. Wilson has been out of power since last night, and they're not getting additional snow. And as we slide this up to the north towns, we're going to kind of give an idea of the extent of this. And you'll watch it up in Wilson. You're done. You're not going to get anything else. So it looks like north of Niagara Falls, even Niagara Falls, you're not going to add to this because it's going to start going the other way. What about Kenmore? Happy to do this for you, Steve. Great to have you on here. If everybody wants to just put what they want to see on the in the comments, we'll be able to do that and set you up for this. Kenmore, you're right in here for probably another 10 to 12 inches of snow. And it says here, what's going on? What's going to happen with Hamburg? South towns, do not get a false sense of security because you are still well within the snow zone. Some big numbers coming at you tonight with bad visibilities later in the evening into the early morning hours there. What is there? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for Eggertsville? It does look like late tonight this will begin sliding further to the south. Can't wait till the plows can come out. I think you're in the city of Buffalo. You might have gotten cleared a little bit this morning, and then hopefully a little bit later on during the overnight when this goes south, they'll be able to do it again. Wind will die down in the Tonawandas. Yes, it's slowly settling down. Eden, do we have Eden on the map? Let's go ahead and dig into that, show them when it shows up there in some of the it's a little closer to the lake. So Eden is going to see this before areas like Springville and Holland. So the timing for the arrival in Eden looks like it's the evening hours there as well, after 8 and 9 o'clock. You can see that area there. Cheektowaga, it's coming through your backyard as well. We just talked about Eden. There's the timeline on this. I believe it's going to be there for Christmas morning. So when you get up, you can open a snowy gift from Mother Nature when you open up the door, but it's going to sit right in one of those areas there in Eden and Angola. And as we kind of put this map on the screen, we'll give you the complete picture. You're going to have to do some shoveling as we drop this number down to Eden there. You can see we've got Lancaster questions. Can't go one of these without a good Lancaster question. So we'll put this number up here. And Lancaster got hit yesterday. They're going to get hit again today. So round 2 is coming in later on, and you can see in Cheektowaga, you're sitting on another bunch of snow, as this is going to spend about maybe 8 or 9 hours over the city at about 1.5 inches an hour. It says Grand Island here tomorrow around 2 p.m. Grand Island to Wheatfield, 2 p.m. tomorrow. Yes. Anything you want to do on Sunday in the North Towns should be pretty good. The Clarence timeline. We were just up there talking with Kevin O'Connell, and he was showing us that there's a hefty amount of snow drifts. It's still blowing around. But Clarence, you can expect this to be in your backyard pretty shortly. Will the winds pick back up when the snow band? The edges of the snow band will have increased winds, but overall, we're going to find that the winds are going to be pretty polite compared to yesterday's big winds here.
And I do have snow totals, by the way.
All right. What do you got there, David?
Yeah, latest in from the National Weather Service. Buffalo, Cheektowaga, about 28 inches. Williamsville, 18. Kenmore, 18. Amherst, 15. And then for Niagara County, for our friends up there, North Tonawanda, right around 14, 15 inches. Lockport, 12 inches. Wow. And just south of Lockport, or the northern extent of Lockport, right around 8 inches. So those are the bell ringers right now.
Did you give me a City of Buffalo number?
I give you a National Weather Service Buffalo Airport, 28 inches. I don't see Buffalo in here right now.
Yeah. Well, there's a view of the city, and this is right over on the west side in the core, and you can see how high it is on those cars. Those drifts are pretty big, and that's what's happening all throughout the area. And this is kind of another view of the city while we have it, because I'm not expecting us to be able to see the city for much longer, because those skies are darkening very rapidly. We're starting to see more snow at the up. Look at this. It looks so desolate. As you can watch the waves of blowing snow just continue to come down. Youngstown has a dusting, but it's hard to tell with all the blowing snow up there. Lackawanna expectations, I think we just talked about that. As we pop this in here, we can move this into Lackawanna. You're going to be right in there. You're right in the core, so you're going to get this again. West Side has 4-foot drifts. When we look at those cars that were in that picture, I fully believe that there's some 4-foot drifts out there, no doubt about it. What it says, we skipped right over Niagara Falls. All right, for Ethel, we will give you the Niagara Falls. Are you looking for the number in Niagara Falls? So if she's asking for the snow total, you're kind of done. This is moving south of you, and it is not coming back for the duration. So those are your numbers right there. It is going to be parked right in here, so I would expect an additional 5 to 7 inches on the borderline there. They have internet and power in North Buffalo. Good for you. Some of the folks are not getting the power back, and it's been more than a day now. In Amherst, where was this one? Amherst, Nicole, we're right in here for Amherst. And again, this is going to come back. You're going to see those same debilitating conditions that you had yesterday, because as we watch the timeline here, this is going to slide right back into the city. And that's what you're going to end up with there. No problem, Susan. Happy to do it for you again. Where was this other one? Gowanda. Let's go down and talk about Gowanda real quick. And if we can slide this a little further in the time, you're going to have to get into tonight before it catches Gowanda. West Seneca is getting hit again. Yes. Later today, you're going to get this. Silver Creek as well. Watch this. Keep your eye on Silver Creek, because it's coming back as we move through the afternoon and evening hours. It gets back into there as well. And we'll hold it there. And you can see there, Silver Creek becomes involved in this 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight. Those are the things there. West Falls, we can answer that question. You're on the map. It's going to take longer because you're south of Orchard Park. So it looks like well after dark into the evening and overnight. Look at this, an 8-foot drift on the side of our house. Take a pic and try to clear out your hot water. Yeah, definitely clear out those vents. And by the way, if you have an 8-foot drift, we want to see it. Text it to 503-ANDY. And if you want a quick updated forecast, text the word weather. We're checking them right now. So if you send a picture right now, we can kind of get it on the stream and get that up. Snow start time in Eden, we just gave you that with the map that we showed you there. That's going to be later this evening and overnight. And it says, Carol says, I'm 5'4". And there are drifts, drifts over your head in Clarence. We saw that on Kevin's camera. That was amazing. What can we expect in Attica? Not much snow accumulated, but it is blowing around. You're going to get another round today as far as the snow, so that will be coming back. And when we look at totals in Attica, let's go ahead and bring Attica in, as it's right out here. You're so far away from the lake and these flakes are so small, you're not going to be a direct hit, but I do think you're going to get another shot of that snow. Middleport, as we move up to Niagara County, kind of giving everybody the idea you're right in here. I think that you've got another shot coming there to Middleport. Barry and Albion. So let's slide over here to Albion. We'll bring that one on the map, and we can do that for you as well. There's 31A. You're kind of at the extent, the furthest extent. So I think you start to see some blowing snow. Kathy says it's sunny in OP, but it's not going to stay that way. Lancaster again. Yes, no doubt about it. Akron Newstead getting more. Certainly will. You'll be getting that snow as we hit the afternoon hours today. And it hasn't stopped in Kenton. No, Kenton is going to be one of the ones I think that sees a pretty hefty number. This is on top of what you already have on the ground and what you can expect a little bit later. When will it start to get out of the teens there in Stockton? It's not going to happen tomorrow or Monday, but you can move. We'll start to progressively come back to normal temperatures a little bit later. Near south of UB. So if we're up on the 990, you're right in there as well. That's going to be hitting you this afternoon. And as we get to the evening hours, the Elmwood Village total, you're going to be right in here. It really is not going to, this is not going to matter too much whether you're in North Buffalo, South Buffalo. You're all going to be getting hit with that as well. Hamburg, after 6 o'clock tonight. Depew, you're going to have this right through the course of the day today. We've got Batavia at the outer reach of this. So I think Batavia, you're probably in that 4 to 7 inch range, depending upon how the winds go today. And as the winds slow down, you end up getting less out of this as well. South Cheektowaga, you're right in here. and you're going to see, again, some double digits there, no doubt about. When will it move out of North Tonawanda? Let's go back to Nate, Dave, you've got a picture for us? We can do that one here. There it is. When will it move out of North Tonawanda? So if you want to cue that up, and we can kind of take a look at when it's going to move out, that'd be great. And you can see that as we re-rack it, it's there now. And what I want to do is grab the current imagery as well so that we can put this on the map. And Dave's going to roll this through when it exits that area. That's going to be the key, is when this gets out of here. So that's the timing for it to get into Buffalo, and it sticks around Buffalo until much later. So the Tonawandas, I think, have a very good chance of, once this slips south, in the coming hours, that you'll find that by this evening, that's south of you there as well. I want to go back to the map that we've got. This is the view of downtown, which is pretty good compared to what it's been. And here's why: because that lake band is still making its way slowly, ever so slowly, through the Tonawandas. You can see how at the top of this loop, it was all the way to Niagara Falls, and now it's been able to make a little more of a jog that you can definitely see the edge of that snow band approaching the 290 or that 190 North Bridge, and then still taking its time. You've got some time before you end up clearing. It's actually going to get worse in Tonawanda before it gets better, because it's working its way in, but you can see the blue, it's intensifying right in here. This is where you're finding the heaviest snow across 425, 31, 263, Millersport Highway, windswept, so is Transit Road. And some of that heavy snow is in Lockport right now, right by the car dealerships and in the grocery store, the mall, the plaza. That's where you're getting that snow. And it goes all the way up to, it includes, looks like maybe Lyndonville. If anybody's up in Lyndonville and Medina, are you getting some snow out of this band? I know it's coming down really good there, but it hasn't gotten back. You're getting some snow in the core in Buffalo, but again, the view of Buffalo is maybe better than it was all day yesterday. And I think what we're going to find is that dies out quick. Hey, John, appreciate it. If you guys hit the like and the share button, that's all we need. It looks like we've flipped our audience, or we've got a whole bunch of new folks in here. All you got to do, you put the questions in, we answer them, and then what we're able to do is allow this to go to more people. And in the spirit of giving, we'll give everybody a chance to get their questions in, and we're happy to do it. I just saw one in here. It says, I have dachshunds, and they can't get them outside. They love those drifts. Yeah, the Jimmy Griffin. That would have been a good advice maybe on Thursday, but I think by now that's kind of tough. They're so high you can't get out the door. I think folks are starting to look at, maybe we got to get out the windows here. Who was hit with the most snowfall? Dave, if you've got your ears on, I know you just went through those totals. Do you want to give us who was hit with the largest number there? Was the airport the largest number?
Buffalo Airport, about 28 inches. Williamsville, 18. Kenmore, 18. Amherst, 15. Lancaster, about 12 or a foot. You could say the same thing for almost the Kenmore, Lancaster area. And then Hamburg was around 8 inches. For Niagara County, that was the other county that was hit pretty good with this band of snow. North Tonawanda around 15, Lockport 12, and Pendleton around 8 inches.
You got it. Hey, Jesse says the power's out in Tonawanda near Colvin and Sheridan. Thank you very much. There's so many power outages out there. It says got a snow total for Elmwood. I tell you what, you are one street off of Elmwood Avenue in the picture that I'm going to show you right here. And let's get a look at this and see if we can take you street level. And these are the cars that have been parked there on the west side. So this is one block off of South Elmwood. So I could tell you a number, but it's easier to just show you what it looks like in there. The winds in Williamsville later tonight, you're going to ratchet down. You're still getting 50-mile-an-hour gusts. It won't drop to 40-mile-an-hour gusts until later on. Just joining now, it says, what does this look like for Kenmore the rest of the day? It does not look good. It's all coming back into the city and will include Kenmore as well. Depew, New York, when will this be done completely? It slides south of Depew tonight, spends some time in the South Towns and Southern Tier, but then I think it comes up for one more glancing blow late Sunday into Monday. East Aurora's sunny right now. That would make sense because when we look at this map, this is where it is right now. Grand Island getting the worst, but you can see West Seneca, Orchard Park, East Aurora, Hamburg. You can probably see those clouds out there, but overall, it's pretty easy going. Other than the wind. Yeah, Cheektowaga near the airport, 28 inches. But I got to tell you, it's not that number that's impressive. It's the drifting. Is there a driving ban in Erie County? I've been doing this, so I'm not sure what the update is there, but it is definitely going to be no travel within that snow band. It's tougher for the south towns because it looks good outside, but you don't know how long is this, are they going to just drop it and bring it back? It's tough to do that. He's telling me right now there's a 3-foot drift in Bassam. There's a 5-foot drift across the driveway in the road. Don't just tell me, show me. Text that image to 503-ANDY, 503-2639. Put that in your phone as a contact. You can ask questions there as well. How can we watch the Bills win? I guess you've got to put some batteries in your radio and turn on GR and do that as well. Hey, thank you very much, Mary Jane. We appreciate that. Alden is in the house. Let's go take a look at Alden right now. And if you're getting whiteout conditions, please let us know in the comments. That would be great if you could. Anybody with whiteout conditions, just so we can get that. If any Grand Island viewers out there, that would be great if we could get that. OP seems to be getting a reprieve. I will tell you this, I've got a lot of friends in OP, and they're like, oh, hey, we dodged a bullet, no problem, right? OP, it's coming back. South Towns, don't be lulled into it missed us. Take a look at this, is that snow band drops down tonight as we kind of move the model into tonight and move that for the next couple of hours. You can see there it starts edging into the South Towns late this evening and into tomorrow. So that's what we're working with as far as the snow band coming into the South Towns. So this is what we have there. Let's see, we've got travel from Corning to Toronto. What is it, today, tomorrow? What day are you doing this? His best bet tomorrow afternoon from Corning. I would say that, yes, if you can offload it to tomorrow, the band will be weaker, the winds will be lighter. If you don't have to do it today, don't do it today. Total whiteout in Williamsville right now. All right, let's go back to this map right here. This is the radar that's currently out there. And that's interesting because it shows that heaviest snow is in the Tonawandas and Williamsville isn't so bad. How much snow for Warsaw? Out there in Warsaw, what you're going to end up with, watch this. We'll switch this right before your eyes and see if we can get Warsaw to pop back on the map with a snow number. And we can do that right here, bring that in. And I think we're going to bring that out to Warsaw. You're outside of the direct hit. You're probably going to see a few inches of blowing snow out there. We could say the same thing for Wyoming. I think once you get to Attica, you find more of accumulation there. Travel to Olean tomorrow morning. I'm not sure where you're going from, but to Olean, you're probably going to have to drive through some of the snow in order to get there. Hamburg, 6 o'clock tonight. Is it in Hamburg at 6 p.m., David? I've looked at this map too many times to remember. If we can move that through to 6 p.m. tonight, yeah, I would say yes. You're going to be feeling the effects in Hamburg because the snow band will be dropping down a little bit differently there. Oh, thank you very much, Ray. We appreciate sending in the photos. Is Hamburg getting hit tonight? Yes. Hamburg, West Seneca, Orchard Park, Depew, Lancaster. These drifts are horrible, Debbie says. And there's so many of them. We'll pop this one in. This was one of the pictures that we saw. This is from our friend Steve Buffalo Snow King. If you want to check him on Twitter, that's the view. That is not fun right there. You don't want to grab that. And then look at the drift outside. Even if you could push the door open, you're in for a world of hurt. And so we've got a lot of those doors opening this morning. Watch it on your laptop or your phone. That's right. There's multiple ways to get the game. And it's going to be on national TV. It's not in Buffalo, but it's going to be in a very cold Chicago. What have we got here? Paula, she's one of the weather spotters. 8 inches on the ground with sunshine, Paula, in Elma. Well, you've got more than Orchard Park, a lot less. What do we have here? It says, Sarah, my husband is out in a payloader trying to plow the main road in Cheektowaga, and cars are literally following behind him as he clears a path. She's requesting do not follow because they're clearing the road for emergency vehicles, not for you to run to the corner store. That makes a very good point. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Will we be able to leave our houses tomorrow? I think it's going to get decent enough that if you're bundled up, you will be able to exit your homes and get outside and start moving about Western New York once again. But for today, I think a lot of people are going to have to find a board game. This is a great time to start that Monopoly game with your kids that you never had time for. And this is going to be one of those days where we definitely have a homespun family, lots of family time, as downtown getting a little bit darker as that snow band edges back closer into the city of Buffalo. What are we in here? NT really getting hit now. Snowing and winds blowing up in Albion. Let me switch back over to the other map where we're actually able to see what's happening right now. It's the Doppler radar that you so frequently see. It's on your phones and all different methods of watching where the weather is. And this is Albion up there getting hit. So if I put the time lapse on here, you're going to notice this continues to march slowly across Grand Island. It's at the North Grand Island Bridge, edging its way ever so slowly. And it looks like that North Grand Island Bridge is about to pop out into some clearer skies. And as they get better in the Tonawandas and in Pendleton, it gets worse for Kenmore, Buffalo, Clarence, Rapids, and Albion. There we go. Christmas, everyone going to have a Christmas together. You know it. Hey, I'm going to drop down, try to get to some of the questions that just came in. When is it going to be? It says, when will it come back towards West Buffalo? It's doing that right now. You're looking at the west side on the screen right at this time. So that's Niagara Street in the distance. And if I slide over a little bit, what you're going to get is some of the buildings in downtown Buffalo. And if we go a little to the right and up, you'll be able to see some of the areas. I don't know how far. Normally, you'd be able to see all the way to Niagara Falls from this view, but you cannot today. Visibility is terrible, just a few feet off the ground. West Seneca, 1:30 p.m. should be good. I think this is going to still be sitting over the city of Buffalo at 1:30 in the afternoon. It doesn't get down there till a little bit later. Rochester to South Buffalo today, not advised. You'd have to take the most roundabout route to get to South Buffalo, and even if you did get close, it's not going to be good at all. Let's see. Dave is in cash. I love this. He's got his Christmas profile picture up. How much longer before the lake will freeze? We can probably find out the most recent lake temperature. That would have been taken this morning. Dave, if you want to grab that one, ought to be awesome. We'll answer that question. How is Cheektowaga looking later today? Pretty snowy. This is what we've got as we look at the 6 o'clock clock. And you're going to see that is going to be something that just sits over downtown as it edges its way in. We're watching the progression of the band right now as it leaves Niagara Falls, leaves the North Grand Island Bridge, and it's coming back into downtown Buffalo. You can see how it's deteriorating rapidly there in the city. So that's when is the storm over? Probably not completely until Monday. The biggest winds from the storm will be ratcheting down as we go through the day today, and that will be improving for everybody. It says, how long will the band stay over Hamburg when it hits tonight? Most of the night. So Hamburg is going to be in for probably a foot of snow. Debbie says her windows are covered with snow. She's got a tiny hole to look out the front window. And make sure you open, if your windows are that bad, make sure you're opening these doors. Otherwise, you're going to run into a situation that your door looks like this. And then your only alternative is you've got to start thinking about which window you're going to bust out of. Because if only the top part of the door opens, that's something you got to take care of right away. You don't want to deal with that. And with the snow coming back in, you can expect that to be the situation that you're going to have there right through the afternoon. University District is crazy. I would bet that it's the same image that we've got here. Thank goodness it looks like by 6 p.m. it'll be out of NT. Hopefully before 6 p.m. At the rate that it's moving right now, you've got a couple more hours. But at least as we widen this picture out, what you want to look at is right back in here. This does not look like it's moving rapidly, but it is edging to the south. You can see that the reaction of that is being felt from the end of the band by the shoreline of Ontario back here, but ever so slightly is it moving. Gowanda to Olean tomorrow morning. Gowanda, you've got the snow. Olean, you do not. Using weather-altering technologies. It's called putting a dome over top of Buffalo for part of the year. Let's see what we've got here. It says Amherst Boulevard Mall hasn't let up at all. Luckily, you've got an attached garage. How nice is that, right? Appreciate it. We love the coverage, doing this for you, Daniel. All you got to do is put the questions in. And the one thing that we do is if you can like and share this, if everybody in here, we've got hundreds of people, if you hit that share button and the like button, that helps us continue this, but we're not continuing much farther because the Bills are going to be coming on very shortly, and that's going to be a nice distraction. We can forget about the snow for a little while. Folks without power, we feel for you. That's going to be difficult, and I know it's not warm outside by any stretch, so hopefully we get some power restored during the course of the day. Doesn't want to drive through this mess. No. Yeah, David, what do you got?
Yeah, this is actually impressive. So I want to say a couple of days ago, the Lake Erie temp was around 40. And
Correct.
Now today, the morning temperature observed in Buffalo is 32 degrees.
The lake is 32 degrees.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a massive temperature drop down to 32. Here's some information I want to pass along. Debbie says she's a nurse. She took Friday off Friday and Monday a month ago. And this is not how she expected it to go. She feels bad for all the residents. It is. There's some folks that are feeling the effects of this, and it's not in a good way. It's not a fun. It's snowing outside, but this is a disaster for them from a personal standpoint. It's winter as intensity goes in cycles. It's been happening since day one. Get over it. I think there's a T-shirt out there that says, "It's Buffalo, it snows, deal with it." Someone made that at one point in time. There might be a T-shirt out of this. We've got to talk to 26 Shirts. We should have them on and see if they'll do a shirt for the storm with us. That'd be pretty great. We should reach out to them. If anybody knows them, give them a ring and let them know. Send something their way. We'd love to work with them and do that. Are the winds going to stay died down? Yes, they are going to. They're going to drop down a notch, but they're not going to. They're not going to go away. And Dave Cash waited for the answer. He appreciates the digging, Dave. From one Dave to another, he says, thank you very much.
Hey, I do have to show you this.
Yeah.
So this is how much snowfall we've had so far this year, up to 72 inches at the Buffalo airport. The average is 95. We should have about 46 about this time of year up to this date. So we're well above average, and we're really closing in on the yearly snowfall total already. It's December.
Just put this in perspective again. I want you to restate this. The 95 is for an entire season from October to May. And right now you're saying that adding up what we've gotten in the last 24 hours, we're at 72.
And that number is going to go up. Yeah.
72. And normally this time of year, you've got the 46. So in the average Buffalo winter, and we know that they're not average. That's the thing. Each winter is different. But this one is going. Wow. That's a big number. That's a huge number. It's double digits in Hamburg, 11 degrees. Dare to dream. Wait till you see what the Bills are playing in. They're going to be in about the same thing up there. We've got 3-foot drifts on Colvin in Kenmore. Dave, if you can, check that text line and see if we've got a couple of images to share here. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you text the word weather to 503-2639, 503-ANDY, and you'll get a quick forecast back. But then more importantly, it opens the door to you can ask questions just like you're doing in this format, but you don't have to wait for us to go live. You can do it at any time you want. What does Attica expect later this afternoon and tomorrow? We'll put Attica on the screen for you. You can see where it is. You know how to find it. And as we roll this through time, this is 6 o'clock tonight. This is when it starts to exit ever so slowly out of Buffalo. And you're expecting that right through the overnight hours. And it'll probably come down and get involved in Attica there as well. I just wanted to see this one. Oh, thank you very much, Solomon. The Q&A. How does the 190 and 90 look later this evening and tomorrow? Probably closed. If they can, I think you're going to get weather conditions that might allow them to open, but I think it's going to be the side streets that they're going to say, you know what, we don't want people on those. If we open the majors, that's going to encourage them to get on the side street. He's selling snow cones on the corner. All flavors. That's awesome. Oh, my goodness. Hey, they live near the Grand Island Bridge. Once it clears out, is your area done for the duration of the storm? The Grand Island Bridge is beginning to clear now, the North Grand Island Bridge, and that should do it for you. There's no indication that this is going to come back up to your location once this begins to move further south. You can see over the past couple hours, it did make it to Niagara Falls. Now it's starting to slowly cross Grand Island. And the result of that, as much as Grand Island gets better, the city of Buffalo starts to deteriorate, and that's what we're finding there. In West Seneca, we can go back to the snow total map for you and talk totals for a moment if that's where the interest lies. If you want to find out how much more is coming into your backyard, we can absolutely put that on the map. I believe West Seneca was the location. We'll move the cursor over to West Seneca and serve this up for you right in there. Now, if you're in the south side of West Seneca, the north side, the east side, the west side, doesn't matter. You're West Seneca, there's no cutoff line there as well. We've just dealt with West Seneca again. No problem there. Everybody's asking about it. There's a lot of people wondering. It says, how are we measuring the snow with the drifts? It's exceptionally hard to do that.
Andy,
we can get into that a whole nother time. Yeah, David, what do you got?
Yeah, I got a picture out here from Teresa on the text line.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Where snow drifts.
Whoa. Wow.
Look at that.
That looks like maybe an addition off the house. And that thing,
this is Cheektowaga. I can tell on the bin, the tote.
Wow. That is huge. That is amazing. I'll have one thing to say to that. Go Bills. Oh, my gosh. What do we've got here? It says at 9:35 a.m., the water temperature of Buffalo is 32 degrees. 9:35 a.m., the water temperature of Rochester, 38. Wow.
And to put this into perspective, Lake Erie, I was just looking at the math here. In one day, in 24 hours, Lake Erie went from 40 degrees to 32 degrees in one day.
Yeah. Hey, Viv wants to know, once this goes through Orchard Park, will it come back? It really does, Viv. It drops south of you. It goes over you tonight, and then it should go just a little bit further to the south, and then it comes back. But I wouldn't try to shoot the gap in there too much. What do we have here? So sliding down the list, it says, is it going to be near 50 next weekend? It does warm up. It does warm up, but we're not going that far out in the forecast right now. We're just kind of dealing with this. Is it safe to be traveling in the town of Orchard Park between 4 and 8 p.m.? The roads in OP, I would say that they're great. And can we look at OP 4 to 8 p.m. tonight to see where that is and help her out? All right, there we go. 4 to 8 p.m. So I think it's starting to make its move out of the city. Orchard Park is kind of on the fringe of this. You're still going to have some gusty winds. I would expect some blowing snow, and then deteriorating conditions during that window. So if you've got some plans and you want to do it, you just be aware that you may end up in some of this stuff. If you get there, you may not want to wait till 8 o'clock. That's the best I can tell you. Springville, this just keeps on going. Let's can we show Springville since you're at 8 o'clock and we're almost there as well? You can see that this will edge its way in, Ken, working its way down to you. Have no problem showing you. Happy to do it. You can see that the Springville area comes right to the edge of this thing at 4 a.m. and it'll likely slide over top of you a little bit left. A huge drift. Watch when it melts. My goodness, it's crazy. What's the next 24 hours look like for Elma? Something along these lines. Look at that. Holy cow. That's how you can't get out. That's how that happens, right?
Gets the door.
This is from the inside, and these are not the same locations, but it's the same result happening over and over. You cannot open that door. That's crazy. Look how that drift just ended up. Wow.
This is another picture from Cheektowaga.
Heidi says she's in Rochester. They have nothing. Oh, my gosh. Wow. That's crazy. What does it say here? I can't post the picture, but she survived the blizzard of 2022. We've got one more in here. It says driving bans in Hamburg. We've been doing this, so I really don't know where the driving bans stand here as well. Hey, they're asking, can we go all the way to Fredonia again and Dunkirk? I know we did that at the top of the show, but let's take a look at it now for these guys. It does end up down there. Dunkirk, I think, is going to be kind of on the edge of this band, and that's going to be the tricky part of this because you're right near the lake. and so this does edge its way into you later this evening, and then probably closer into tomorrow morning as well. Hey, could everybody, we're at 576. We've got 100. Could we get 14 people to hit the like button on us and the share button? That would be awesome if we could do it. It's not much. I know you're watching on all different devices. We will answer as many questions as we can. We're popping them on literally. This one just came in from Beth seconds ago, and we're happy to put that in. Winter Storm Grinch, I'm all for that. If you could hit that like and share button, that is super cool. Where are they at? I just saw this. Can hardly see the houses across the street in Williamsville. And we keep hearing that Williamsville is kind of in this where you're getting really bad visibilities. But when we look at Doppler and we watch what's going on in Williamsville, we're just not seeing. It doesn't look like it's as bad as it was yesterday. But you can see the snow is still coming down. The city, the aerial, the sky cam in the city, which is kind of in the direct path of Williamsville, before the snow gets to Williamsville, it's got to go through the city, and you can see it's going to get worse. If you think it's bad now, Williamsville, wait, it's coming. Any idea how much in Jamestown tonight and tomorrow? Not much. You're really not looking for a lot of accumulation down there. It says, if Orchard Park people plan to travel, don't forget the city has a driving ban. There's a lot of questions about can you get from point A to point B. Another foot of snow in Cheektowaga is what we're likely to tack on here. Tonawanda is a complete whiteout. I don't doubt that for a minute. It wasn't very good before when we were talking with Rob Lucas in the town of Tonawanda, and it hasn't really improved. As a matter of fact, the snow that was coming down heavier in Niagara County, Niagara Falls, is now moving a little closer to Tonawanda. It's that darker blue that keeps moving closer to the 290, and that's what we're watching for, that where that dark blue is, because that's the debilitating whiteout conditions. He says it's near Sheridan Park, pretty bad over there, but at least you've got power. Lewiston, tomorrow, you're looking good. Once this gets south of Tonawanda tonight, it doesn't really return with a lot of intensity. I think right at the end of this, maybe on Monday or late Sunday, it may come back to you as well. Yes, James, more snow coming to West Seneca. You can see how this snow band is edging ever so slightly to the south. That means the lighter, dusty snow still blowing through Buffalo and Cheektowaga. Buffalo is not even in the band yet. This is what it looks like on the edge of the band. And when you're in the band, when you're in that blue, that's where you have those whiteout, where you can't see out your window. So if you're still in the gray, you can at least see out your window. Weather in OP tomorrow at 11 a.m. So we'll do this one more time. I think we can go the 25th. It's still snowing down there at that time. No problem. Happy to keep everybody updated. It's what we enjoy. It's what we do. Will the snow move back into Buffalo? Yes, it's about to do that right now. You can see it on the screen. This is where it's moving ever so slightly into Kenmore. The heavier snow still in the Tonawandas. And Andrew says, would someone bring him food? No one's going to deliver today, no doubt about it. Quiet in Boston and Hamburg. You can see it. You're outside of any of the activity. There was actually some sunshine reported there as well. And it says probably later when the band goes south and the plows come out. So that it's going to be tricky to move around. Eden is going to be later this evening and overnight as well. Everybody says, can I have coal for Christmas? Nobody wants any more snow for Christmas. She said she thought she only had 2-foot drifts. She made it back to the house, and Karen said she found 4.5-foot drifts. Might as well wait until after the game to tackle all of that. And it says, how much more snow for West Seneca? You're probably looking at a foot of snow, and we've got go Bills. And maybe that's how we end this one. We've gotten so many comments in here, knocking them down as much as possible. We're coming up to game time. I know there's still a lot of folks in the room, but let me pop back up on the screen here real quick. And Dave, that may end up popping you in as well. We'll say, on behalf of everybody, that we had Rob Lucas in here, Sean in the Falls, Kevin O'Connell, who was in Clarence. We were happy to bring this to you. And if you didn't see the top of this, you can go back and watch it and see those guys kind of give us a tour of their yards. If you haven't done it yet, please like and subscribe to the channel so when we do fire this off, you'll be able to take part in it as well. And if you have an opportunity to do this, you can also put us in your phone as a contact. It's a phone number that goes right here. You send the text in, the pictures or the questions, and we'll take that as well. So this is a nice way to end it. We'll say Merry Christmas, put a little Doppler on your screen, and with that, we'll see you later tonight. Go Bills.